I'm Master Ken, creator of an 11th degree black belt in the most dangerous martial art in the world, Ameridote. And you're listening to one of my newest Ameridote students, Justin Ray Harvey, on the J. Ray Radio Show. But I do have one disclaimer. Don't believe any of his guests when they're talking about other martial arts, because if it's not Ameridote, it's bullshit.
Hi, this is Bruce Hart of the Hart Foundation.
Hi, this is David Worth, Director of Photography on Bloodsport and Director of Kickboxer.
Hi, my name is Frank Dukes. Some of you might recognize my name from the movie Bloodsport. Jean-Claude Van Damme portrays me in the movie.
Hi, folks. This is Grandmaster Soto, 8-time World Committee champion.
Hi, this is Master Todd Summers from White Tiger Martial Arts in Salem, Indiana.
This is Mohamed Kisi, alias Dong Po, in the movie Kickboxer with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
This is Paul Herzog, composer of the music from Bloodsport and Kickboxer.
Hi, this is Tony Luke Jr., a.k.a. Joey the Nail Nardone.
This is Mike Riccioni, producer of Bloodsport 2.
Hello, this is Haskell Von Anderson III. I was Winston Taylor in the movie Kickboxer. You're listening to Justin Ray Harvey. Justin Ray Harvey's life is a different culture. It's a different world. You better come to terms with that, or you won't last a heart.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Justin Ray Harvey Show. I am your host, Justin Ray Harvey, and on today's show we have martial arts master Todd Summers, who is also a member of the Black Dragon Society. We will have Mr. Summers discuss a little bit about that and some random topics for us today, and what he is doing and what his expectations are for 2014. So, Master Summers, welcome to the show.
Hi, how you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's great to have you back on. I actually, to get the audience built up for this show, I previously yesterday released our show from, I believe it's from last year. So
I think it was 2012, something like that. Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Yeah. So and you know, and I know that people love the show, and as you know, my show has had some major good changes. I've moved my shows to YouTube so that I could, you know, have a longer show, and I've had, in my mind, Master Summers, I've had, and I'm including you in this category, but I've had phenomenal guests. So compared to when I started, I think that my show is doing excellent compared to when I first started doing this thing. So.
Yeah, I've been on your YouTube channel, and it's growing, and that's what you want. You know, if you're not growing, you're not going to really go anywhere. But it's coming along really well. I'm happy to see what you're doing with it.
Absolutely, Master Summers. And before we get into the whole martial arts bit, which you know that I love and a big part of, I discovered something about you yesterday that, you know, I thought it'd be fun just to talk about, because, you know, as I get to know you more and more, I love who you are. I recently learned that you're a huge wrestling fan, just like myself.
Oh yeah.
So.
Ever since I was a kid.
So, I mean, you know, it's funny as long as I've known you, and I never knew that until like yesterday. That's what's funny about it. So.
Yeah, I've done a lot of different things. You know, I love football and things like that, and wrestling. I've watched that since as long as I can remember. My brothers watched it, so I've been on that for a while and stuff. So just can't take the kid out of me sometimes.
oh yeah, I always thought it would be great to see like Frank Dukes come on Monday Night Raw and kick Vince McMahon right in the face.
That'd be something to say, but yeah, a lot of martial artists and MMA guys came out of went to wrestling during the mid-90s. Dan Severn, Ken Shamrock, Tank Abbott, a lot got there, which I find kind of funny now. The last 7 or 8 years, the pro wrestling people have gone to MMA. So Brock went there, Batista went there, and I just think it's funny and stuff. So
but what really kills me though is I can't stand these wrestlers that think that they get the big head because they've been in wrestling for so long, and then they go to MMA and then they get their asses handed to them. I mean, it's just that's what gets me.
That's generally what happens because Jim Thomas, Grandmaster Jim Thomas, he's friends with Frank also. He was friends with Buff Bagwell and a lot of these wrestlers and stuff, and the outcome is set up and everything else is how it's set up. But I'd met Buff Bagwell years ago and a couple other people, and they're like, we're getting tagged here and there lately and kind of hard, but they're like, when you come off a 12-foot ladder or a 20-foot cage, kind of hard to fake gravity.
Exactly, and
I don't care how the fall, you're gonna hurt.
So. Yeah, exactly, and believe it or not, a good example is the death of Owen Hart. I mean, that was very, very tragic, and I'm actually friends with his brother, Bruce Hart. I've had Bruce on the show.
Have you?
Yep, I've had Bruce, and I will be having Bruce return sometime this year, on the show. So
that's good.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but there's a difference between all these sports, with everyone kind of looks at martial arts like it's a kid thing, and cage fighters in the last several years have realized traditional martial arts kind of where it's at. And a lot of them are going to different dojos and dojangs to get training for kicking and everything else and stuff. And it's like Grandmaster Vic Moore, who I'm connected with now. I'm part of his Traditional World Karate Association. And it's, with a lot of cage fighters have realized, like the ones that I've trained, it's been, you get them on the mat and you're doing this, and then the cage fighter goes, well, that's illegal, you can't do that. And I'm, well, here's the difference. Cage fighting, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. We're talking martial arts, and Vic Moore, put it the best. A martial artist, how we're trained, we're not trained for sport. It's trained to destroy
and survival.
An opponent. It's not for points. It's not for round by round. It's if you're on the street and someone jumps you, it's on. Do what you have to do to survive.
Yeah.
And stuff. And I think a lot of people are starting to realize that. And even, this year, like you've been having such a good year coming up with your radio show. It's the same thing here. It's since 2014's rolled over, I've been booked for seminars all over the country. Enrollment is going up. Everything is going up. And you have people coming from around Salem where the kids are like blue belts and purple. It's, a middle ranking or a high ranking in some areas. But you go in, excuse Excuse me, I got a bad cough here.
That's okay.
They come in, and you ask them to do a block or a high block or an outside block, and they have no clue what you're talking about, because the school they came from, it's basically a belt factory. It's pay money, and I'll teach your kid how to kick, but it won't actually explain what it is or what it's for and how it's supposed to be used.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that Victor Moore, that traditional karate association, is trying to stop. You know, there's too many schools out there like that. You know, Vic, he's going to be a guest on your show. Am I right?
Actually, yes. And you know, when I spoke to Grandmaster Vic Moore, I was only, you know, expecting like just a few minutes phone call, like 5 minutes or 15 minutes. He talked to me for a good hour.
Yes.
So.
The man is passionate about this. This has been set up since 1975, and him and several others like Grandmaster Thomas and this believe in the traditions. You know, you should know these basic blocks and these stances and everything else that comes along with it. Mm-hmm. You know, law schools need to get on board with this and keeping tradition alive, because everyone from, you know, traditionalists, you know, Robert Treyas, who brought karate to America, I believe it was in 1947. It's tradition, and these people that are traditionalists, you know, you can't look at someone like Vic, who was a 4-time world champion, and he beat Chuck Norris, he beat Mike Stone, he beat all these people. And you can't look at someone who's traditional like that and kind of look at them and say, oh, well, they don't know what they're doing.
And not to mention, he trained, I've been doing some research here and there, I need to do more, but he also trained a chimpanzee martial arts.
Yeah. There was actually him holding a board and him, the chimpanzee breaking it.
So, and that's not an easy task to do by any means.
Oh, no. It's not, you know, and just all these martial art icons, you know, everyone needs to look to the roots where this stuff came from. I have my black belt, and he's one of our grandmasters, is Bill Superfoot Wallace. You know, we're a Superfoot school, and Bill's in his mid-60s, and for me, it's scary when he comes to my school to watch him kick the way he does, because he'll be with some young guy who's 25 years old, and Bill will just kick the snot out of him. You don't know what's coming, which direction, or anything. And it's pretty funny, you know. Everyone needs to look back and go back to the roots. If you're a martial artist, you know, you need to go back to the root to see how it's supposed to be and how it is. You know, it's like here recently, our school, you know, I've been talking to a grandmaster in Korea named Sungbuk Bae. There was a show called Fight Quest on the Travel Channel. I don't know if you ever saw that.
I saw the. I've seen several episodes, and I've seen where these two guys actually competed in a kumite. So yes, I love the show actually. Believe it or not.
They had a Peter episode, and the two men in there was Master Kim and Sungbuk Bae, and even he was saying, you know, everything needs to, you know, stay the way it is, because for some reason through the years, schools have taken what has been around for thousands and thousands of years and go, well, it's not good enough for us. We're going to change it. Because we know better.
Yeah.
That work. It's like changing a recipe if you're going to cook something and then you burn it.
Exactly, or you put too many things together and it turns out to be the wrong thing.
Right. That's the problem. You know, everything has been about flash, nowadays, and self-satisfaction, being satisfied, it's been too much about the ranking. Well, I have this belt, and I'm this belt, and, there was a good example is there was a guy that called, I believe it was Grandmaster Thomas, who was asking about rank and stuff. And generally, people who are a 5th Dan or above, generally even just a 5th Dan, a master status, they're generally in their mid-30s by the time they get there. It takes, about 15, 20 years to get just to that part. And here's a kid that is 27 years old, and he's a 9th degree black belt, and he's an 8th degree black belt in Kung Fu, and he's a 7th degree in Jeet Kune Do. You're just like, really?
Yeah, and also just a little bit of news and rumors, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to get Master Summer's take on this, but if you've kept up with my post, Master Summers, it is time to reveal that there is a rumor that the great Master Ken is coming to my radio show. So we'll have to see what happens with that. So.
Yeah, that that should be interesting. They had a I think it's on the Air the Dojo's YouTube link. There's a roast that they did at the USA Martial Arts Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and it's hilarious, and I was actually supposed to have been there. I was actually invited to that. I was just not able to, make it. But
yeah,
I wish I could have seen that, because I watched the video and I laughed my butt off, and then I heard this rumor that he wants to come to the Justin Ray Harvey show, and I'm like, oh wow, I wonder what it could be. So we shall see.
You'll see. Well, he's supposed to be in Indianapolis. I'm being inducted. It'll be the 7th time for the USA Martial Arts Hall of Fame for me. Mm-hmm. And I had gotten word he's going to be there. I was like, oh, cool. And then I heard that I might be one of the people that's going to get roasted like Frank Dukes and Bill Wallace did. I'm just like, I'm not too cool about that.
But I tell you, out of all those people, I felt most bad for Grandmaster Cynthia Rock. Oh my gosh! I mean, people would have to go on YouTube and watch this video, ladies and gentlemen, because I've never met her personally, and I hear that she has agreed to do my show at some point, but I felt bad for the lady from the comment. I know it was funny, but I still felt very bad for her. So.
Well, I think once you get to that level, you got to kind of take everything with a grain of salt, because, I talked to Grandmaster Thomas about it. He was friends with Frank Dukes, and I was like, uh-oh, because he was kind of ripping on Frank a little bit, and Bill, and I was like, were they mad? He's like, oh, no. He said they thought it was funny. It's all in good heart and good fun and stuff. So I was like, okay. I was like, oh, someone's going to be pissed.
That's what I thought, too. But then I realized, I realized with how intelligent they are that, they would know that he's joking and not attacking. It was a time to cut loose and a time to, have fun. So.
Yeah, but, just, it's all in good fun and stuff and everything. And the Hall of Fame is generally a pretty good time and stuff and everything. And I got to do another seminar up there this year up in Indianapolis in April. Mm-hmm. So, at this point, I'm just praying I don't have an early morning slot like I've had the last several years.
And now, have you ever been to any part of West Virginia, Master Summers? Or?
I've been in West Virginia several times when my band toured.
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But as far as, doing a seminar or anything like that, I pretty much stayed in the venue or the theater around West Virginia where we were staying at, and that was pretty much my view of West Virginia was the inside of a stadium. So,
well, I mean, if you ever come back down, please give me a call and say, come on down.
Yeah, I might make an extra trip down there just to meet you and stuff, so we can go hang out and everything. So,
that would be great. And what was amazing is, Grandmaster Vic Moore said, "You never know." He says, "I might just come visit you too." So, that would be great, So.
Yeah, Victor Moore's got a great sense of humor because with me, I knew who he was, and last year at the Hall of Fame is when I met him, and I was doing a cane seminar, and there were about 40, 50 people in the room, and about another 30 or 40 sitting down watching it, and didn't think anything of it, and then that night at the Hall of Fame banquet, I had this guy stand up. He said, "Young man, I want to talk to you." And I was like, "Okay." And he said, "My name is Victor Moore. My jaw about dropped." And then he's like, "Well," I was at your seminar." Then my heart sank. I'm like, "Oh, great."
Wow.
I'm the most terrible thing he's ever seen. But no, he says, "You know what you're talking about." And he said, "Most young people, they're in martial arts, they really don't know what they're talking about." And this and this. So, having a compliment from someone like him is beyond flattering. It's fantastic. And, his sense of humor, what was funny was I had done a cane seminar, and you can, after when you talk to him on the show, he has one of my canes. He kept it.
Hey, really?
Oh, yeah, he kept it. I need this to help me walk around and smack some people to get in my way. He still has that cane, but his sense of humor is hilarious, though, because I was talking to Grandmaster Thomas at this tournament at the Hall of Fame, and I looked over and I saw Victor was talking to my wife, and all of a sudden my wife comes over there. And I'm like, "Okay." She goes, "Well, Victor wants to talk to you." I was like, "Okay." I go over there and talk to Victor, and Victor puts his arm around me. He said, "Man," he said, "I got to tell you the truth." I was like, "What?" He said, "You got to tell your wife to quit hitting on me." And bright red, and she goes, "I wasn't hitting on you." He goes, "Oh, we both know you were," and stuff. But yeah, he's got a great sense of humor. He's a guy. So you'll love being on the show.
Oh, absolutely, because the first question he asked me, he said, "Do you know about me?" And honestly, I answered. I said, "I don't know much, but I know bits and pieces of what people have told me."
Yeah.
So he basically gave me a whole background of what he did, and so
a lot of people don't know who he is because it's got nothing to do with the time era now. It's got to do with the time era then, because during the we're talking 65 and 67, 68, 69. All the people who ran Black Belt magazine and other martial arts magazines were writing about black fighters. They just weren't. They were writing about all the white fighters. And, let's be honest, that's not someone with sour grapes. That's the fact. You look at, only black gentleman you ever saw in Black Belt magazine back then at that time was Jim Kelly.
Exactly. And to give you a good example is back in the olden days, when there were slaves, they couldn't train martial arts. They had to disguise it with dance, capoeira.
Yeah.
So.
Victor was the first African American world champion. He won, if I remember right, 66, 68, 69, or something like that. It was, I think it was 65, 67, 68, 69, if I remember right. But, yeah, you can't, he's got the title of the man who fought them all. And there's a reason for it, It's how it is. He had to feel it. It's documented. He beat Chuck Norris. He beat Mike Stone. He beat all these different people. The fucking was because of him. Him and Joe Lewis debuted it on the Merv Griffin Show in 1973.
Wow. Well, I definitely got to get, Grandmaster Vic Moore on the show, and I think that would be, a spectacular interview in itself, and because when I was talking with Vic Moore, I realized that I could actually do several segments just on Vic Moore, and that wouldn't do him justice even if I did segments, with all the stuff I learned.
Well, you'd have to have him on the show, couple, 2 or 3 times. The man's knowledge and history is just, phenomenal. And a lot of people don't know who he is. And that's kind of irritating and stuff. But, it's everyone needs to know the history of him. And, like I said earlier, about traditional martial arts, period. There's schools that I've seen, the tournaments I've been to in the past, where you'll see a 10-year-old with 2nd-degree black belts. And I'm like, gotta be joking. And that's the problem.
Because there are some teachers, not all, but some, that, you go to their school and they'll be like, okay, in a couple weeks, I'll make you a black belt, and here you go,
Yep, they're calling them a dojo. Pay the money, and here's your... Because, a lot of schools, not that I say it's wrong that they get belts out the same day of the test, that's fine. But for me, how I do it at my school is like this. They test. And I have all my black belts judge these people. They don't get their belts that day because I go back, when I get back home, I have all them testing forms. I look over all them papers and I read what the judges said. And if I don't think they pass or I disagree with that judge, they don't get that belt.
Until you know that they've done what they're supposed to do the right way, right?
Exactly. Everything's got to be a certain way, and too many people. Well, it's just basically just the way today is. In general, it's martial arts today. Not all of them, but there's a lot of schools out there that will just coddle the person. Well, they tried really hard. If they try harder next time, it's okay, but we'll give you your belt now. No. It's not that, and it's not fair to the kids. It's like there are schools I've seen use boards that are sawed in half.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, you have a 14-year-old boy going for a brown belt, and you got to do a simple roundhouse kick, and the board is sawed. Not the student's fault. It's the black belt's fault. Because what are they doing? They're giving that kid a sense of accomplishment when they really didn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. And really, it doesn't really help them to apply anything when they're out in the street into a bad situation.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's giving them a sense, well, I can do stuff, and they have no idea what they're doing or how to apply it.
Because even with me, even though I trained differently, I still trained hard. I mean, you can see some of the videos on YouTube of, Hunchy Duke's working with me very, very hard.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, the stuff you've done and stuff other people done. Everybody's a different martial artist. Some people have fantastic kicks and other people don't. The thing is taking what you know and
applying it.
Yeah, applying it for yourself, but not having something just handed to you. And there's too many people out there that are just handing stuff. It's like, for example, when I was growing up, they didn't have 10th place trophies. You got the pizza party at the end of the season and you tried hard. Good luck. You didn't get a trophy. But now they're giving out, trophies for, 5th place and 6th place.
Yeah, exactly. Because back in the old days, if you didn't place or if you weren't like number one, you didn't get a trophy. You just went home.
Well, it's like when I ran my tournament, 3 or 4 years ago. Some people up said, "Well, don't I get a trophy?" I'm like, "Well, what place did you get?" They got 5th. I'm like, "Nope. I had 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. That was it." That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it is at the Olympics. You don't see somebody get an aluminum foil medal because they got 7th place from Germany. It's always 1st, 3rd.
Exactly. I mean, that's why I believe that martial arts should go back to the old traditional type teaching instead of, versus today's teaching. But, it's like, another good example, too, is like, some people online think that, I automatically just woke up one day and got to be Hunchy Duke's student and friend, and let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it took me years to get where I'm at today because I had to research and I had to find my teacher, and we became good friends, and I mean it's just a beautiful friendship, and I just wanted to clear that up, that it just didn't happen overnight. It was something that I worked for.
Right. Nothing has been handed to you, and I can testify to that. Nothing's been handed to you.
So,
nothing's been handed to me. It's, here I am, I've done this since I was like 7. It'll be 32 years I've done this. I'm 39 now. That's a lot of time put in.
Yeah.
And, you just don't, that's why, like I was saying earlier, these martial artists that come up and they're like 27 years old and they're like, "Oh, I'm an 8th degree black belt." Okay, whatever.
They can be a black belt, but the main thing is, can they apply it in a real situation?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing, It's, there's a friend of mine named Jeff Mead, who was an actor. He's been in, he was in Fast 5 with The Rock, and he's been in a lot of TV shows and Buffy the Vampire Slayer and stuff like that.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah, he was saying the same thing, if you're not teaching them realistically how it would end up on the street, then you're defeating the purpose. It's not happening. So,
and also I wanted to take this special time to give a special shout out to one of your former students, who is one of my good friends on Facebook, Miriam Edwards. So.
Oh, Miriam Edwards, yeah.
So I wanted to make sure and mention her because, the first thing I did was ask you, was she a good student? And you said absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. She was a very good student and stuff. Very busy schedule.
Yeah.
And stuff. So, that happens sometimes, when you're an adult and you got jobs and bills you got to pay, you just don't got the time for it and stuff. Mary was extremely good and stuff. Kind of timid, because she was a small little woman and stuff. But yeah, she would slam me down quite often. So she was good.
I can imagine, and sometimes I talk to her quite a bit. She even sent me like a Christmas card through the mail this year. So I was tickled about that as well. But for my audience, Master Summers, could you please explain to them the terms of Hanshi, Shihan, and Asoki, because I know a lot of my listeners who probably follow my Facebook and Twitter probably, hear these terms or see these terms with some of the people that,
right.
are my friends, and I thought maybe you could break it down for my audience on what these terms mean.
Yeah, there are these titles like Hanshi and Soki and things of them natures. Generally mean they're a 10th degree black belts.
Mhm.
I do like a traditional Taekwondo style, so it's like, you're a grandmaster from 6th degree on up, but once you hit that 10th, it's a Soki.
Mhm.
Other styles are Hanshis and stuff. So basically, when you hear them terms, you know that person's at the 10th degree black belt. That's literally the top of the mountain. You're not going any higher than that unless you're Master Ken, who's an 11th degree black belt.
Well, yeah. I guess his ranking would be a Maridoti, right?
Yeah. That's the best. Whatever he says, it's all bullshit.
Exactly, and I want to say personally, Master Ken, don't be afraid of the Justin Harvey show. Come on down, you're invited. Because I know you. I know you want to come. So.
Yep. It'll be fun to see him on there and see what happens.
Oh Lord, it's hard to tell what'll happen. So, I mean, because
I'm a student of Ameridote.
So what? Say that again.
You're going to be a student of Ameridote?
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
You got your chill face.
Exactly. I'll be the first. I'll be the first Ameridote wheelchair student.
There you go. Roll of freedom. You can just roll over the person and back up and roll over them. Keep going.
Oh yeah, and when I saw his Halloween episode, I about died. You have to see that episode.
Yeah, I saw the one that was on there that you sent me about the splits.
Yeah, that was great.
That was good. So yeah, having him on the show will be real good and everything. So
yeah, and he actually made jokes about Van Damme and Steven Seagal and.
Oh yeah, he even jumped on. It was a couple nights after Anderson Silva broke his leg. He did a video about how to fight with a broken leg.
Yeah, I watched that one today.
Yeah, so yeah, it's anything that happens, the funny part about that show, Enter the Dojo, is it's pretty accurate on some things, other schools coming in and challenging you. I've seen that happen.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the hot girl come in, they can't fix her uniform, and every guy runs over there to help her. I've seen this stuff firsthand. Wow. So it's kind of funny looking at it. You're like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. It's stupid, but it's accurate.
He needs to do a segment on how to fight in a wheelchair.
I'm sure he'll come up with something. I'm sure he'll come up with something. Just leave it to Master Ken. He'll come up with it. So.
Well, like I said, I think he will come to the show because, I've just heard rumors here and there, and, I've kind of posted on, Facebook and whatnot. So maybe in a couple weeks I'll be able to, verify that Master Ken will be coming to the show, and it's not bullshit that he's coming to the show, that he will come to the show.
So. All the shows are bullshit except Justin Ray Harvey's show.
Oh, that would be just awesome.
There you go. And so you're might be having like Bill Superfoot Wallace on the show, right? Yeah. Bill's a great guy. A lot of fun to talk to. Bill was the trainer and like bodyguard for John Belushi.
Really?
And, yeah. I'll tell you this story here before I get off here. Him and John were working out, and we were in Bloomington and drove past the White Castles, and Bill told me this story. But him and John out, and they got done, and John was like, "Hey, I'm hungry. Let's go to White Castles. Let's go to White Castles."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, and Bill said, "All right, let's go to White Castles." And so him and Belushi go to this White Castles, and Bill orders a couple burgers and a fry and whatever else. John Belushi orders 30 White Castles.
Holy crap.
2 fries and like a Diet Coke, of all things. And Bill said they sat there, and kind of like John Belushi in Animal House, he said John pulled out each White Castle, folded it in half, and shoved it in at one bite.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so he just took the White Castle, folded it like a taco, and just, boop, 1, next one, boop, 2. That's how he's eating them.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, exactly. We both said together, wow, yeah, that's like I said, you could ask Bill all sorts of stories, man. Bill's probably got a billion stories.
Oh, I can imagine. And I wanted to also get your thoughts on something that I've always wanted to know, because I was in the process of trying to find him, but unfortunately now I can't. What's your thoughts on David Carradine's death? I don't believe that, he hanged himself. I don't believe that it was a sex act. I believe that somehow he was killed, is what I believe.
The David Carradine death, wow, I really don't know what to say about that, because you heard the rumors about, it was some sex game gone wrong, and choking and bondage and all this weird stuff, and my thoughts is this, internet and media and newspapers and things of that nature have a tendency to sensationalize stuff.
Mhm.
It's boring if you just say, well, the man just died.
Yeah.
It's better to say, if you want a juicy story, oh, well, he was found dead with, 14 hookers and an 8-ball of cocaine and had guns all over the place, and, and he was dressed like Britney Spears. You don't know what to trust nowadays, far as internet and stuff goes. Anyone can get behind a keyboard and pretty much type anything and slap it up on Facebook or on their own web page or whatever. So you really don't know. I know he was, a real good martial artist and things of that nature. As far as his death goes, only person that will know what actually happened, despite the rumors and very untasteful things that the media have said about him and this and this. There's only 2 people that know for sure what happened, and that's David and God.
Exactly. I mean, that's just how it is, But
it's like anybody or any celebrity, like I said about like today's society, they live to build people up and tear them down. There's nothing more fun for our society than watching somebody on top of the mountain and then you knock them right off.
Oh, exactly. And like you said, people can type stuff that aren't true because, I believe it was last year, I got a text Grandmaster Summers on a radio show, and to this day, they still say that I'm not a disabled individual, that I'm not in a wheelchair, that I'm a troll, and blah, blah, blah.
Well, it's the same thing that, I went through the same thing also, oh, this guy is, he doesn't have a degree from the University of Asian Martial Arts. There's no way he's been inducted, that fat ass. There's no way he's done this. There's no way he was on the U.S. Martial Arts Team Alliance and all these different things. And, oh, he didn't win world championships and, and all this other stuff. And then these people come into my school and there's everything on the wall.
Wow.
And that's the thing, it's like, people judge and look at stuff and this, and they make their own inquiries about it without actually walking into the place or checking the person out or whatever. They just jump on the keyboard and say, well, this is what it is and this is how it is, and I know for a fact. Well, they don't know for a fact. They don't know you. They don't know me. But they sure as hell like to talk about us.
Exactly, because when they commented and said, I'm not in a wheelchair, and I was like, why in the hell didn't anybody, notify me of this? What's going on here?
Yeah. You just, stuff like that. You have a friend of mine that was in a wheelchair that I trained years ago, comments like that, just looking up to your right. I'm not in a wheelchair. I'm a transformer that broke halfway through.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Then also park car, just shut up, you idiot. Yeah, people like that you just gotta ignore and stuff, But only person will know actually what happened is David, and seeing like these all morgue photos of carotene they say and all this other stuff, and I'm just like, man, photoshopping and all this other stuff, no one knows for sure. And I don't know.
Exactly, and I got something funny to tell you. Last year, somebody actually had the gall to come on my Facebook page and say that me and Grandmaster Dukes' photo was photoshopped, that I didn't know Master Frank Dukes.
Well, I guess it was photoshopped. You were eating dinner at his house, too, on video.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, unless I'm that talented to make up a fake video and put it together, it just.
Yeah, but the thing is, my wife has had to tell me to ignore these people and stuff because, she's not getting attacked like you are, or I am, or other people that have a jealousy streak or whatever their problem is. You just, stuff like that, you just got to let it roll off your shoulders and, not pay them any attention because they're wanting you to get ruffled up. They're wanting you to get, ticked off and stuff like that. So it's just, it's like, the school that I have, is the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, they're terrible, and they're this, and they're this, and then the funny part is the people that are saying this don't have their school anymore. They're out of business.
Yeah.
And guess you're still here and still going strong. Me.
And me with my radio show and with what I'm doing, and I've been working on a blood sport project, and that's been doing well. So.
That's good to hear.
So,
all right,
I wanted to get your thoughts on something really, really quick here. Have you ever met Grandmaster Cynthia Rock?
Rock?
Yes. Boy, that's a tongue twister.
I've talked to her a couple times on the phone, and extremely sweet lady, very cool to talk to, but past that, as far as face-to-face meeting, no, I haven't had the chance to meet her.
Okay, cool, because I'm still, I'm sure she will, but I'm still waiting for her to to contact me because I really would love to have her on the show. So
right, yeah.
But before I let you go, Master Summers, give the audience some of your closing statements, and I will let you go.
Oh, closing statements. Wow. Well, basically, I would just say check out Victor Moore on Facebook and the Traditional World Karate Association links and stuff that he has on his site and everything. It's, if you're wanting to, it doesn't matter what style you are. It's not just karate. It's all styles, all systems, but, trying to take everything back to, like I said earlier, the core, where, you have the stances, you have the blocks, and the basic that every martial artist should know. Too many people are getting away from that, and, it's like Victor Moore, I was talking to him the other day about it, kids walking in with brown belts, they have no idea what a back stance is, what an outside block is, or a low block. Or haven't been explained, how the forms or the katas work. They're just going through the motions, but they're not being told how it needs to be done and what it's for and how it works. So everyone needs to, if you're listening to this broadcast, definitely check out Victor Moore and the Traditional World Karate Association.
Absolutely, and check out Ameridote as well. So, but we'll go ahead and let you go, Master Summers. Thank you for being on the show, and if you have any new seminars that you want to promote or anything, please, write me and call me, and you can come back on the show. So.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate you having me on, sir.
Oh, absolutely.
All righty. I will talk to you later then.
Take care, my friend.
All right. Bye.
Bye.